All right, I think we're live now. Let me double check my mic is working. Okay, everything's looking good. Now I wanted to continue the Tuesday. It's not even Tuesday. Oh no, we're off to a bad start. I'd like to continue the Monday morning. Maybe I shouldn't at this rate. Monday morning, quick streams, and keep working on Space Aces. I think I'm gonna allot a couple hours Monday morning to, or an hour to working on Space Aces because it's hard, hard to get it slotted in other times. So we've got this set up. I've got Minecraft music running in the background. We should be able to see it pop up there, which is nice. I like that feature a lot. And I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to announce. But we have been working on this map, which is going to eventually be Broken City. So if I teleport, this is Broken City. And I think it's going to be a mix between TDM and Duel, right? Those are easy to work with. I might make it a CTF, capture the flag. I feel like this map has a really large sight lines, and I think that's going to be the main draw of it. Is it's kind of a sniper heavy map, especially like this perspective. So it's going to be CTF, but it's also going to work as a setback map, which is kind of cool because those two are not necessarily the same, but because they can kind of work the same. The CTF points can actually be the same as the spawn points on the other map. So like here would be the capture point on red. The other one, well, this will be the middle one down here. And then this one will be the blue one. So it'll be a capture point, or it can also be a the other point. Okay, I had to clear my throat. Finally starting to sip my coffee, and it's loosening me up. So I was just kind of plotting, like, how is this map gonna work? I don't want it to be too crazy, like too advanced. And let me see, am I gonna lose this stuff? I probably will. It doesn't matter. Actually, just team join blue, and I can set my class to sniper. And so this will kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what the sightlines will look like. I'm not sure exactly how this stuff is going to be working for like the very specific minor obstructions. But because it's Broken City, we're going to eventually collapse parts of these buildings, and that'll make a big difference in, because right now you have, you have this huge sight line. And of course, this block here covers the point itself, but anybody that's going from this opening to the point or from the ladder up to the point, both are a little bit more vulnerable. And so finding that, as well as, like, this can also be even a viewpoint. So you could storm up here somehow if you can, like, land in a window or something. And you can even see this window. And then, of course, the point itself. So I'm trying to find a good balance between blocking lines of sight and keeping them. So I've got this here, for example, as just like a blocker for now. And here, that kind of makes it a lot more, like you only have this sliver that you can see in that half of it. And really, there's not going to be much going on over here generally. There can be, if depending on what's going on, but I'm not sure. And this, the reason for that is this is really close to the spawn point. You want, like, the further away you are from the spawn point, that's okay if that's stronger. Like, let's say, for example, you're like way up here, like on the building. Because it's on the opposite side of the map as the starting point, it's less of a problem. But if it's like right here, right here in the spawn point, then it's like kind of a problem, right? So what can we do for that? Of course, we can always just grow and shrink these windows too, which can do a lot of that. And keeping this open also works too. Like just a big wide thing too. So we've got some options. We've got a few things we can do. Also, I would like to maybe block these off. Block them out, rather. So each building is a separate color. Let's go ahead and try that a little bit. Go to Wood and X here. I think it's honestly easier with World Edit. Maybe I'll just grab some concretes. There we go. We got that cyan concrete that we created last time. We've got, don't want to use powder if we can help it. I think white is actually like a, yeah, okay. So let's block this building out. Oh, I missed a spot. And this will kind of help us differentiate the buildings a little bit more as we're designing the map, I think. Yeah, okay. And then this one we'll do actually all the way down here. Oh, just whiffed. Oh, do I want to do that? Probably not. Actually, I don't need to be a class. Oh, Control Q does not work for me. What about just normal? Oh, it's because... Duh, I'm on the search menu. Okay. So this building will be a little bit more interesting. We'll make it the... Oh man, that's hard to look at when it's like that. Ugh. I don't want to look at that. That's just too much for me. Let's do it with this. There we go. Doesn't look great, but it's... Let's get rid of that. Let's grab another block. Yeah, this will work. And so part of today, what we're going to briefly try to figure out is like what's the purpose of each building. I'm finding more and more that if you have a purpose with everything that you build, it makes it so much easier to add detail. Like it's easy to make a big apartment or whatever building like this. It's like, okay, that's just what it looks like. But when you start putting stuff on the inside, like what is the purpose of this building? Why make it the way it is? And once you start thinking that way, that makes a huge difference of like throwing those extra details in. I need to move faster. That's a little bit better. Go ahead and replace this with white, and we'll just keep rotating between the three. Actually, I'll grab this corner. Now, this map, the whole point of it is that it's going to be kind of layered with greenery. There's going to be like maybe explosions went off and then things crumbled, or just over time. It's going to be kind of like ruins, but just a city. So there's not going to be other stuff that we're looking at here in this map. It's just a city. And I think that'll be a nice differentiation between the two maps. Big cities like this are actually kind of easy to build, believe it or not, because all you have to do is build one layer and then duplicate it. So for like the multiple story buildings like these, I just copied and pasted it, and that's super easy. Now, of course, making them actually interesting is another story. That's where the difficulty comes in. But happy with this so far. I'm going to go ahead and put moss on the floor. That way it'll kind of pave the way for how this map is going to fundamentally function. Maybe I'll grab this corner, actually. It's not a good way to do this, is there? Maybe I just do... I don't know, actually. And now that I'm looking at these, I think deleting this will actually make a difference, because you can see, we can draw in extra skyscrapers in the skybox. And I think that'll be a really cool addition. I think that'll add more than any facade could. Okay. And so as we're building this, we're going to kind of think of lore for the city itself. Like, what's the purpose of this city? And I think I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. We'll fill stuff in like that later. I think what would be kind of neat is maybe a mix between like a natural disaster, and then maybe it's not handled well, and then there's also an element of like civil unrest, like people are protesting. Of course, I don't want to make anything too realistic. This is a Minecraft map, right? So within reason, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable with how this map is going to work. I just want it to be a factor in the level design more than anything. And oh, that is not that is not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. Now this isn't going to be the actual blocks for any of these, but we're just blocking it out. Of course, I missed a spot, but whatever happens. Actually, it doesn't even matter because I can clone. Let me grab maybe the gray down here. That can be set. Okay, do these have their main majority? Yeah, okay. And then now I can paint the go ahead and paint the stone. Do I want a brush? Just do that. This is more satisfying than actually being practical, but that's okay. The greenery, I thinking like originally the point of this area, it was like a very nice city, and they had a very beautiful park in this area. I think is going to be kind of what we're going for. And it doesn't matter if I overwrite that. No, this really matters actually, because I'll be flipping the blocks, but that's okay. There'll be a really nice park area, and that's kind of what this is. It's going to be like an overview, so you can see that from up high. I'm thinking like almost a little bit utopian here in this city at one point, and then it didn't work out for whatever reason. Is the story I'm hoping to tell. Make sure I get all of these. This is definitely not the way to do this efficiently, but sometimes having fun is more efficient, or more is much better than being efficient, right? Okay, I think we got this. Okay. And so now I'm going to actually break this strip because this is one thing we have to worry about with the skyboxes. And I might be able to rework the skyboxes with the new rendering that changed. But you see that black line? That really is evident that like, oh, that's just a block there. You get rid of that and it's fine. So you get rid of the orange entirely, and then you're like, okay, now it could be a skybox, right? So that's just kind of an interesting design quirk that we have to work with. Let's go ahead and delete this. And I think generally this will be an excellent change. Okay. And the skybox keeps going, right? But I missed a spot. There we go. Guess I got to delete this back another block, right? Down here at least. And I whiffed. Okay. Actually, I should have just moved this, but that doesn't matter. It's fine. That'll probably get moved. Okay, so we're going to clone. And we'll just pick pretty much everything, right? Except for the skybox, because these are 128 by 128, which is great for the map thing that I showed off in the actual video. But it's not very good for the... It causes a little bit of a problem with how they work in terms of being centered, right? I had 2 diagonal center points instead of just 1. And that took me a while to alleviate. Okay, this should just line up. Snap here. There we go. And of course we can fix that stuff. It doesn't really matter. We're just blocking this out. Okay. So now this kind of freshens up the sightlines quite a bit more to be more interesting, I think. I want this tower to be a little bit of a focal point of the map because, of course, it's the point down low, but at the time this was built, it was also a focal point. So maybe we'll make this a brighter block and then make these 2 buildings darker. And I'm not against these buildings being different colors. I'm just blocking it out to get an idea of where we're at with how things are going to look. Because we can always do the IGSR, like, let me see what colors we've got. So like this is more of a RLU color. The oranges and the reds are RLU, and the browns. The grays and the cool colors are more the blue team. So like this would be a blue color scheme. And we don't want these to be just straight straight strong color like one block, right? We don't want to do something like this where it's like that's just the blue building. I mean, we can. Oop, let me redo that. But the main thing we're looking for is just adding detail. So like maybe we do a blue stripe on this white building. Something like that. And we can do that as needed. So that looks pretty good. Kind of just thinking now. There's a lot of like filled in space on this map right now, and I'm gonna leave it that way. I'm gonna make it kind of a less like a 3v3 geared map because I think doing it that way will make it more interesting. I don't want to have a really expansive map. I think that might cause too many problems. I want it to look expansive, but not actually be expansive. So let's like, you've got 2 ways to go. You can go into, when you spawn in, you can go here and this building, which this looks like 3 ways, right? But these are kind of the same way. Then you have this way, which gives you more options, but is slower to get to where you're going. And over here, the center point actually doesn't have a way to get down yet. And I don't know if I'm going to leave it that way, but I think in terms of design, I think that'll be really interesting. Like, this is the bridge point where you can kind of infiltrate the enemy lines. And it's not going to be, this room here is not going to be that valuable just for the most part, but it will be valuable in terms of just repositioning you or your team, right? So we'll see how that works. Okay. I think, do we have a... I missed a spot down there, didn't I? Oops. I do like the green a lot down there. I think that will be a fundamental thing that we need to keep. Now it's blocked off. This will be like a earthquake fall zones or something eventually. Or maybe I'll do railing on part of it. So now I think we can go ahead. I want to design these buildings because I think they're the most important right now. And maybe you can just do something like this where it's kind of hinting at a lot of structure. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay. And I don't want this to be white, I don't think. This will be the blue one, I believe, we're building. Don't want to use too many gray blocks, but they do have their place. I think a flatter white color like this will be valuable. So what do we got? What that blue, yeah, here. Deep slate. That's too busy. I want a flat block. Sorry, the cat's on my lap. he's being a little silly. Okay. What other flat, like, concretes do we have? Green, I think, is just what it's supposed to be, right? Or did we make a texture? Oh, that's right. It is a texture. Okay. We made that recently. That could be kind of cool, actually. That's not bad. These things I think need to be darker or bright or lighter. What about the ancient deep slate that we have here, and then is it reinforced deep slate? Is the other one? Maybe it's netherite. Yeah, there you go. So these kind of really lend themselves to corners like that. Oh, okay. That's not terrible. Oop. And we might pull this across like that to create floors. I do kind of like that. I think that I don't want it to look military necessarily, but I think I want it to almost feel military, like vaguely, because the IGSR is supposed to be a little bit little too excited to get involved in things and paint their logo everywhere is kind of their whole shtick. And this is actually too low. It'll be here. That's kind of interesting, right? Now, what I'm going to eventually do is get a like a shatter or a roughen or distort, and I'll do something. Oh, get out of here. Do something kind of like this. So it's really hard to get around in the building, but it'll still be valuable too. Like it'll open up options more than close them off, I think. So I think that'll be a good design idea. We're going to put those there and makes it look like they're supposed to be there. Okay. I'm liking this so far. I do think the darker color will suit down here better. Okay. Now I think it's time to add our buttons. These things, I'll never stop using them because they're literally free free texture. Do I want it there and all the way across? Do I want it at the windowsill? I'm not sure. I'm thinking I need one more block here. Maybe something like the weathered cut copper. It's the same texture. I don't know if that's gonna work. Here it's actually not too bad, but I do think something's missing. And actually, no, it's there. Okay. We could use like the generic concrete color. I think it's too yellow though. Try something a little bit. What about the jungle log? Again, I think that's too yellow. Let's teleport to our textured blocks area and see if we can think about different textures. This facing out actually wouldn't be too bad. That'd be kind of cool. Again, it's that same texture though. And there's this concrete powder. This is definitely an option. Oh, I guess I do have the basalt. That's an option. Oh, Smalley's here. The number one fan, top fan. Hi, Smalley. Thanks for joining. Always happy to see Smalley in my chat. She more than anyone could probably imagine, she's the number one fan. She was such a big fan that she married me, is why. Okay. Glowstone. Glowstone's kind of weird. Could built-in fan. Yeah, if she's not a fan, that's actually a problem. Is what that means. Oh, I could bring this out. Okay, so we're working on texturing up the Broken City map, and we're kind of just blocking it out. We're just making each building like this is one color for the building. I just threw major colors for each side. The idea of this map is there's a green like lush area down here, but that kind of, it was originally a very well trimmed garden that was a beautiful like centerpiece of the city, but because of either natural disasters, maybe there's earthquakes and that's why these holes are here, or like civil unrest, or maybe a mix of both. The garden kind of is growing upwards and the buildings have like decayed. So it's going to be kind of like ruins, but more like in a cityscape. And so we're making them look new and then we're going to shatter them later, which is going to be kind of a fun process. So we're just trying to block out general ideas and colors for these buildings. And so I've got this green one. Oh, and there's going to be a IGSR side and then the RLU, as always. These are going to be more blue cool colors, and the other side's going to be more warm red colors. And they'll kind of complement each other in that way. And maybe this big white ugly building will be like a neutral color because it's linked together with this. It would be kind of cool to make a poster, actually. I might do that. Or a hologram of like, welcome to the city's... Yeah, this is brand new. I built this... I blocked it out a few days ago off stream. Streaming, we like to build maps because that's kind of the easiest thing to do, and it's visual. If I code it on stream, then it's like not that it's not that exciting for anybody. Okay, so we're trying to find out a block for down here. Man, I do like that concrete powder block, and that's too busy. Doesn't look that great with that. I'll try our basalt. Maybe this is the block we're looking for. It's still blue though. I'm not sure. I don't want it blue. I think I want could do maybe a mix of these. That doesn't look that great. You always use my cheat code to get some trapdoors going. I don't think the white will work. Why does that always look good? Yeah, I think this is our go-to. And then on these windows, maybe we can even do something like that. I'm not sure about that. You got to be careful using these too much because they get pretty noticeable pretty quick. We could do a like an extra edge like that. Does that look better? Kind of pull it out. I think the other way's better. It looks like it's wrapping around the city. Okay. And that'll give kind of rounds out the buildings. That's the trick to sci-fi. You just make everything round that shouldn't really be round. You have a square cube, that's the most efficient way to pack stuff. No, make it slightly more round, which is less efficient. Then it's sci-fi. Which kind of a funny conundrum. Yeah, see, that's too much of that block. Maybe we do bring out the gray concrete just for down here. How does that look? We do that on all of them. Maybe we do it on the first two. And then if we do that, then we can maybe pull in, get our buttons out. The only problem is it does that. Oh, I do like that. I think, do we want it 2 or do we want it 1? Maybe we just want it 1 block though. Let me grab this back. Actually, the 2's way better, isn't it? 2 is better. Okay, so we'll try it. And on the inside, we'll kind of figure that out later, I think. I'll go ahead and get the clone out. I don't need to actually build that each time. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. Okay, so now we'll clone the whole level. That's interesting, yeah. It's really interesting. Good, I don't know, but interesting, definitely. That's why I like these flat colors so much. You like it too? Okay. I don't know why I'm not cloning. I better get this corner figured out while I'm here. Now the question is, do we keep this style for the other side and just duplicate it, or do we create a new style? That's the question. So do we take this and then palette swap it? I think we can get away with that. We can. We've got two options. We can either palette swap, and then fracture differently, which means like change the way it's broken up, or we can. That last window is only one block. I just realized that's kind of funny. Or we can just make it a different texture. Oop, fall off the map. That screams boring, boring building, right? And so I think we'll do like big advertisements here. I need to come up with more brands for in-world. We've got the, if we go to Moonbase, we've got this, I can't even remember the name of it. Something chair. I thought it was, it's not moon chair. Oh, maybe it's a ring chair, like rings around a planet, I think. Yeah. So you've got those, which are pretty funny, right? But I want to do stuff like that. Okay, I like this building. I think it's. Let's fix this last window though. I guess I'll clone. Should have just used moved, but that's okay. Copy error. It's too late. Gotta grab it again. And this is just a little goofy. Okay. This probably shouldn't be like that, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Okay. And then down here. This is going to be pretty nice. Let's go ahead and delete out a section for the advertisement. And honestly, we can just keep this block here. This that style of thing. Do we have any lights? Pretty sure we've got something. Let me go see what that one light is. This one. Which one is this? It's just the default copper. Okay. I thought I've tried that, but sometimes you try stuff and you don't realize it's working. Okay. And this, keep in mind, this is just going behind something else. So this is just to show up as, that's the problem with this is that now you can't actually see anything else because it's just so bright. Maybe we will swap it out to like a gray wool. Okay. And so we just do this 3, 4. A handful more times. I'm going to just do a palette swap just to see if we can get something similarly interesting. I think I selected everything, I hope. Flip it twice. Could rotate it twice, but at that point it's the same, right? We are copying air, which I don't think will be a problem. Okay. Looks good. And if we do a palette swap, we want Definitely want those light colored paneling. Birch. Get that first. Actually, I can do that. I forgot the new Axiom menu is actually pretty good. So instead of that green, do we have like an more orange? Concrete's just too plain. I mean, we do have this stuff, which we just created, but that's pretty hideous. We'll see if that works. And what other trapdoors do we have? I'll try those. It's going to look a little ugly, but we'll start with this. Yoink. Oh, that's really cool. I really wanted that to happen. Uh-oh. Wait, what did I just undo? Okay. Seems like nothing. It's okay, we can do it the satisfying way. Okay, and then resin bricks shouldn't matter. Ooh, man. That's a lot to look at. That's a lot to look at. That's a little too much, huh? We could use these, though. Wow, that doesn't even work. Okay. We also have these like more rusty ones. Maybe we'll use those. Yeah, I like that color better. Honestly, the wraparound thing works pretty well. I just need to find a color that works with this other stuff. We have what's it, bricks? We have bricks. Which could make a decent vertical bit. That's the problem with that, though, is that it's the same color all the way from top to bottom, and that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. And is this the same concrete? It's not. Okay. Maybe we'll try that first. That immediately is palatable. I think it's what's turning out is I need another more brighter colored or more saturated brown orange color for vertical parts like that. Because I don't think I have anything. This is pretty gray still. But we could use this gray concrete for the part under the window. We also have this. Can't forget about copper ore. We might be able to make copper ore work. And we have this stuff over here, but I feel like I've used that a lot on like big blank walls. Let's try copper ore and the orange stuff again. Where are we going? Broken City. That could be the case, actually. What? I don't want to... There we go. I don't want to see that big brush every time I click on that. Could go lighter. That's kind of what I'm thinking, actually. Go lighter, that might give us more options. Because if we ignore the green, this almost works. Ignore the green. Because if we use this, it'll just be gray all the way up, right? Maybe we go a little bit more, a little bit lighter. And once we get this building relatively figured out, I think I'll call it there. I've got to get going already. I don't want to use this all the time, but it will work pretty well here. What if we just find like a random different colored block for just that one spot? Could we bring in the resin there? Doing it this way? I don't know if we can get that resin working. That resin is hard to use. Might have to rework it. I mean, honestly, that looks better than, oop, just whiffed. This looks better than anything. Maybe we use a trapdoor there. Do we have a... No, this one. It's a little rusty looking, but it kind of works. What if we swap these two colors? Oh yeah, I really need to get going. Okay, how do I do that? Maybe just get a... Yeah, that'll work. This actually doesn't look too bad, honestly. Okay, then we have gray concrete powder. We'll replace most of the building with that. And then we'll go back to the lighter andesite. That might be it. That actually looks much better. I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. Okay. Let's place this, and then I'm going to have to get going, but it's nice having, of course, Smalley drop by. That's always nice. And anybody that watches later, thank you for watching. I appreciate you following along with this project, not product. And I'll see you guys hopefully pretty soon again. Nope. Yeah, I'll clone that later. All right. The lighter better. Like going like this. Smelly. Lighter going up, right? This one's darker going down. Lighter going up. Okay. I'm going to assume that's what you meant because I have to get going, but thank you. Thank you for the immediate feedback. That helps a lot. All right. See everyone later.